Hi, I'm Mark Robinson, and I'm a secondary physics teacher in the UK. And I built a tool called mymarkingmachine.com that I want to tell you about today. So there's two parts to this. One is the AI that does marking of students' free typed answers. And the other is the learning platform that students and teachers access. The learning platform sends students' answers to the AI and then gets feedback back, which it then gives to the students. I initially built the tool to help students develop their language, so how they might write definitions and explanations and descriptions better. But soon found that it was very useful for helping students with their numerical work. So as a teacher, I had learned that if you teach pupils exactly how to lay out their working formulae and enforce that they do it every time, that even lower attaining students can perform much better and are much happier doing the subject. This also improves their grade significantly, as about 40% of a physics GCSE is numerical work. What's different about this platform is that students are presented with a question in a similar format to an exam question. It's not broken down line by line. They're just given the working space and the answer space, and they just type into it however they like, and then it processes it. I couldn't see this at the time, so that's why I built it. If you built something similar, great, let me know. Maybe we can work together. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this demo. So here we've got a basic question which helps students kind of get used to the interface. What's the equation relating to speed, distance, and time? So a typical answer we might get is something like this. Obviously, all of these symbols are wrong. It's told us incorrect case for distance and what case means. So we need to fix that. Incorrect case for time. Okay, and then the symbol for speed is a lowercase v, not an s, and we can fix those. Brilliant, we've got it correct. Now, some students aren't familiar with this slash symbol meaning divide. They can use the symbols down here, or they can literally write divide by, and it will still be recognized. Now, some things that students try are not okay. So if they type is instead of equals, it will then tell them that's not a mathematical term, or at least not in physics GCSE, and give them some help on how to improve. There are other symbols here because this also works for chemistry and such like. Here is a slightly more typical exam question with a few lines of working, which this is what we really want to get students to improve on. And normally I'd be running around a classroom saying, oh, you need to lay that out like this. Trying to correct about 20 to 30 students working at once is quite hard work. But this is something they can learn at home. So they've got speed of 250 meters per second, frequency of 15 kilohertz. So typically students might write something like this. So this would be sort of untrained student. And then I think it's something like 16.66 reoccurring. I'll put that in. And they instantly get some feedback. So possible rounding error, yes, check that. That should be 7. State the symbol or word equation needed for this question. So might put that down here. Speed equals frequency times, oops, no, we want wavelength, don't we? Yes. Okay. All right, so the equations arranged incorrectly. So I'll fix that, I'll try this. Also the magnitude of my numbers is incorrect, check your prefixes. So obviously that's kilohertz, needs to have some zeros at the end. Check units, yes, I didn't put any units. Okay, so I'll add this on as well. Okay, and then it's telling me that I should lay out each line of working as an equation. So I think I'm just going to put this up here, it'll be nicer. And then this one needs to, saying I should put in my sort of this symbol. I could also write the word wavelength. And then obviously I didn't correct this, and it's telling me to fix this order of magnitude. I think that is now correct. And I need to get the right number of significant figures. So it said it's correct here because you would get the marks in most physics GCSE exams for that, but it's still giving some hints as to how to improve. All right, so now we have a completely correct answer. Another feature to note is some students might want to put this in a different format, and that's perfectly acceptable. And there are many different formats. If you're used to Excel, if you're used to what Google gives you, if you try it, it'll almost definitely be accepted. This has been refined by allowing lots of people from different backgrounds to use it, and then correcting for those different usages. The sort of answers that I put in here and the development of the answer is based on what I've seen real students doing when they're using the platform. And so I know that it works in the way shown. If they are stuck, then they can ask for a hint, and then they can be guided through these points. This learning platform is available for free to use by teachers and students. It's in its infancy, so there isn't much content. I spent most of the time building the technology to enable it to do this. If you are interested in funding something like this, that'd be great. If you are an EdTech platform and you want this technology in your platform, that's possible. It's available through an API. And if you're an academic and you want to do some research into what kinds of feedback are most effective with helping students develop their learning, whether it's within this platform or contrasting this platform with another, I'm very interested in improving educational research. So do get in touch. My email is mark.p.r.robinson@googlemail.com. And thank you very much for listening. I may not be able to take questions because I think I'm teaching when this is released, but do send me an email.